Hi everyone, what's up? Welcome to my Sunday drive. I am a medical doctor by profession, and I think I'm one of those few doctors who can look you in the eye and tell you bluntly, that I cannot fix you. You fix you. I can guide you. I can show you the way. I can direct you, but you have to walk the walk. Get the picture? You have to walk the walk. I can prescribe you medicines, right? I can prescribe you medications for high blood pressure, for diabetes, for depression, for cholesterol, for gout, for whatever. But I'm also going to be this doctor who's telling you my medicines will only take you this far, because medicines don't fix problems. And so what my goal is to help people understand that most of these health problems we're facing today, 80% are chronic diseases that are lifestyle related. So my goal is to help you uncover your root cause of your disease and start changing your mindset on that one. So because what we are seeing a pattern today is that chronic diseases are mainly treated with medicines and expensive surgeries that just makes people a little less uncomfortable, meaning a bit comfortable, but not too sick enough to die, neither too healthy enough to live a good life. I am this doctor who feels like I know you, although I don't know you personally, because you are also like lots of people who keeps repeating the same mistakes over and over again, and people who contact me asking what to do to bring their blood sugars down, to bring their blood pressures down. The other day, somebody messaged me, and I don't know her. I get lots of messages. She messaged me, she asked if I can help her control her blood sugar. That is a very common question, which needs a lot of digging, into. If you don't like to just hang on your life with medications. She said she does not want to be on medications anymore because they are getting too expensive. And besides, she does not feel that they're helping anyway, which is a very, very common thing that I hear. Another person messaged me the other night, and again, I don't know her. She has stage 4 metastatic cancer. It's already spread, and wondering if I can help her. Last week, I got an SOS message from a patient of mine. She has been with me in the program for a couple of months now, and I have taken her off 40 units of insulin and metformin where she was on for more than a decade, right? And she got off of those medicines for just a week. But she messaged me saying I had to restart my insulin, doc, because my blood sugar is shooting up to 200s. But when I met her for a weekly session, she confided that she got stressed out. There were inciting events leading up to the rising of the blood sugar. She got stressed of the fact, and listen to this, she was stressed of the fact that she does not have enough time for herself. She has several members of her family in the household that she has to take care of, and she is angry at herself. She was angry at herself at the time that she could not find time to do what she loves to do and she wants to do for herself. Isn't that so sad? So she indulged with ice cream and cakes and drinks, sweet beverages, and all that crap which she knows were not good for her. And there goes her blood sugar spiking to 200s and almost 300s. So this is what I want to talk to you about, guys. And I want you to think with me here for a second. The long version of that story for my patient that I just narrated to you The long version of that story is that her blood sugar went up because she intentionally ate crap. She ate crap because she wanted to appease herself and feel better. Because she was angry and mad. Why was she angry and mad? She's angry and mad because she feels that she has no time for herself. And she spent most of her time on taking care of other people and puts herself at the bottom of her priority. That's the long version. Her blood sugar went up because of this one word, selfless. She was selfless. She's always doing things for other people first before herself. That's why her blood sugar went up. And I know that that's been her recurrent problem. So in this episode, I will convince you to be the opposite. The opposite. To be selfish. Why we should all aim to be more selfish in our lives, in our careers, in our relationships, and why being selfish is actually an essential skill. It's an essential skill. It's like breathing air. And that means that as an essential skill, we need to adopt that skill in order to get more out of our lives and serve those we love on a higher level. That's what we're going to talk about. Now, the word opposite to selfless is selfish, okay? So the word selfish connotes negative, thought. Typically, we are social animals, and no matter what culture you are, what skin color you have, we are all told to always look out for our families, our relatives, our friends, colleagues, right? And if you don't do that, you are selfish. That's what we are programmed to believe. When we are doing something when you are doing something for yourself and for yourself alone, you are a bad person. That's what we think. And you can get punished and you can get cursed at any time in your life. And you're going to be unhappy. Yeah. But have you ever felt that when you start thinking about yourself and doing something about yourself, you feel this extreme amount of guilt? Have you ever felt that? I bet you did. But let me ask you, going back to that patient, that blood sugar rising to 200, my patient did the selfless way. She was not being selfish, taking care of others. What did she get? High blood sugar. Had to restart the insulin, which she was so happy to be off of. But let's be clear about these two words. Let's not confuse selfless and selfish, okay? They are not the opposite of each other. Again, they are not the opposite of each other. They are not mutually exclusive. When you start spending your time, your energy, your love for yourself because you want to heal, you want to feel better, you want to live your life on your terms, that is not being selfish, you guys. That's not being selfish. Why? Because then when we start healing, then when we start feeling better, then when we start living our lives to the fullest potential, to our own terms, guess what? We feel happy, joyful, grateful, compassionate, kind, loving. And who benefits from this? People around us, our family, our spouse, our children, grandchildren, friends, relatives, they will notice it. And then you start sharing that overflowing love, overflowing goodness to them. Why do you feel guilty about doing something good for yourself? Ask yourself this question. Since when has it become bad to do something good for yourself? When? When you say to your spouse, Oh, I'm sorry, honey, I cannot watch, ball games with you because it's my plant-based cooking day. And you know that all this foods I'm cooking is going to last me for a week. When you say to your kid, I need to find some other time to watch Disney movie with you because I need to exercise, what do you feel? Just the thought of doing that, what do you feel right now? Guilt, right? Guilt. It's a huge, disturbing, and uncomfortable feeling. Guilt that you don't want to deal. Why do you feel guilty doing something good for yourself, even though you know it's going to benefit a lot of people around you? When was the last time you asked yourself this question? Is it because, why do you feel guilty doing something good for yourself? Is this because maybe you are using guilt as your excuse to hold yourself back from changing? Be true to yourself. Are you using guilt to hold yourself back because you're afraid of something? What are you afraid of? And why are you afraid? Are you afraid of failing? Why are you afraid of failing? Is it because you've failed multiple times before in your attempts to be a better person? You use guilt to cover up your fear of failure. That means that guilt is not the root cause. It's your fear of failing. It's your fear of making a person not feel good about your decision. Now, there is a perspective that suggests self-care and self-interest can be essential for personal growth. And it actually allows us to serve others better, as I've alluded to earlier, right? Now, here's the explanation why selfishness is an essential tool. And I have 4 points to ponder on. Number 1, self-preservation. Self-preservation. When you are thinking selfishness or being selfish, you are actually trying to preserve yourself. Self-preservation. Taking care of yourself is a fundamental right. Fundamental right for survival and well-being. Again, taking care of yourself first is a fundamental right to survive. When you prioritize your physical and your mental health, you are better equipped to navigate life and the challenges that comes along the way. And when you're successful at that, you can offer support to others. When I started my journey of changing to a whole food plant-based diet and starting to live a healthier lifestyle, I remember that feeling of being disconnected, But I was intentional, very intentional. I'm very focused on myself. And that, my friends, was me being selfish. And there's nothing wrong with that if your intent is to preserve your life, your identity, and yourself. Now, the second reason why selfishness is an essential tool is this: personal growth. Selfishness, when you balance that, can drive personal growth. Pursuing your passions, setting goals, and investing in self-improvement not only fulfill you, but it also effectively contribute to your loved one's life and the community. Like today, and I ask myself, am I being a bad parent for carving part of my time that I could be spending with my kids because I am here talking to you, preparing for this live, carving out 30 minutes or an hour of my time? Am I being a bad parent for doing that when I'm supposed to spend it with my kids? No, because I'm pursuing my passion and it fills me up, makes me feel good. And I know that for choosing this over that is fulfilling meaning, purpose of my life. And when you find your purpose in your life because you're doing what you're supposed to do to fill your cup you can't help but grow on a personal level and even your professional career. Now, number three reason why you need to be selfish and that why it's an essential tool is emotional resilience. Write this down. Emotional resilience. Prioritizing self-care can help build emotional resilience by having that time for yourself, your personal space, to learn how to manage stress positively, to cultivate positive emotions, and maintain a healthy self-esteem and self-worth and self-dignity. You become more capable of handling difficult situations and offering support to others in times of need. It's just really simple. You cannot give what you don't have. If you want to give something to others, you better make sure you've got tons and lots of those things in you, right? Number 4, boundaries. Being selfish can involve setting healthy boundaries, and respecting your own limits allows you to be more present with yourself and makes you guys available to other people. I know, kind of counterintuitive, but it is. Because if you start spending your time to other people or with other people, and you know you don't have time for yourself, you're spreading yourself too thinly, just like what happened to my patient. And look where it ended up. Blood sugar spiking, right? So I also want to add, I know it's 4, but 5th one, I know this is kind of my personal take, role model. When you start spending time with yourself, prioritizing yourself, you are, in a way, setting a role model to people around you. Demonstrating self-care, just by that, you demonstrated self-care and ambition can inspire other people to do the same. When you show that it is possible even in this crazy world that we're in. It's possible to self-care, and you're doing it, you're killing it. You are showing a very good example to other people. And by that, you're also being able to show compassion, example to encourage those around you to strive for their own personal growth. And you start by influencing your kids, your spouse, right? You don't have to talk a lot. You don't have to say your piece. When you're demonstrating it to yourself, people will see it. Action speaks louder than words. It's just that simple, guys, right? Okay. So ultimately, the key is finding a balance between self-interest and serving others. Serve yourself first. Have you ridden a plane before? An airplane. Yes, I'm talking about an airplane, right? What do they say about oxygen mask? Right? They say when the cabin pressure change, oxygen mask will drop overhead, right? And what do they say? Did they say put the mask onto the person beside you first? They don't care. It doesn't matter if it's your child, it's an old lady beside you. You have to put the mask on yourself first. Because if you do the opposite, you start putting masks on people beside you, by the time you reach the third person, you're already turning blue. So you don't have oxygen for yourself. And what's the point of keeping your kids alive, your toddlers, your baby alive when you're dead? Right? Being selfish in moderation. Being selfish in moderation can lead to a more fulfilled and capable individual, better equipped to contribute to the well-being of people you care about. Serving others for the greater good, for your family, starts from being personal, from being selfish. It's when the I needs the we kind of thing. You want a healthy and fulfilled life? Friends, start with I. Start with you. That's all I ever wish to do with this thing. I want to give you a weekly dose, small dose, but little small dose. When you accumulate that through the weeks, through the months, I know it's going to move you, shift you, even just 1 millimeter change in your direction. For that, I'm already happy. I'm fulfilling my mission with a Sunday drive. Bye.